Hey guys, how's it going? I figured I'd post an update of what I'm up to. Today I actually just going over my batteries, balancing them, make sure they're safe, checking the welds. Obviously if you build your own, that's something you need to do constantly. Something to take care of is some wiring. This here is kind of sketchy. Yeah, I need to seriously heat that up, and I don't know. I think I might end up doing is putting it on the power supply on a way that I can mount it to the side, like maybe have the positive come out this way and the negative this way, and clamp it down so it's got a little bit more support. I got multiple chargers in one PSU, and it's a little hard on the solder joint there, so it might end up just ripping the pad right off the board, so I'm gonna have to figure something out for that. But I've had this thing for over 12 years and it keeps going. Really good power supply. I found out the hard way that the Junctek, this isn't the newest one, this is the previous one. I had the bigger screen. I wanted to put this back on the bike, but it had this special plug which I thought was for telephone wire, but apparently it's thinner. I tried looking it up, you can't even buy it, so I'm probably going to end up doing a mod where we'll pop this open and we'll solder a wire right to it. It's only a 4-pin. It's let's see, it's ground, power, and A and B, so for data, and then we'll do the same for this one here. It would have been nice if I had one I could just slide in there, but I lost it. I don't know where it went. But I want to put that back on the bike. So there is that. Like I said, I'm just going over my batteries today. Went over my charger that I've had forever. Nice knockoff charger. It just keeps going and going. The only thing I've had to do with this is just oil the fan. That's about it. I still got the other one that I need to repair from that. This has been on the charger for most of the day, balancing the batteries. But the other one down there with all the smaller 18650 cells, the before, I'm gonna have to pull that pack right out, and before I even charge it, I want to test all the rows, make sure they're all at 3 volts. Make sure that BMS isn't charging it weird or anything. I don't need that thing blowing up on me. But we'll see how that goes. Actually, that's next on the bench. Yeah, after having the other BMS go bad, I figured I would quickly check this one out. See if it's gonna have any surprises, which I'm hoping it doesn't. To get this out, we got to disconnect the leads. And now you're looking at that Moret and you're saying, this dude uses Morets in his battery. Actually, these work pretty good. They do not, I have dual motor, and these do not draw enough amps to melt these even slightly, so they're great for this. I don't have to solder or anything. I don't have to put connectors on. I just push them together and they're done. This one is a more technical battery compared to the other one. This one needs more babying. I gotta make sure I go over it. I gotta check every weld, make sure nothing's come loose, which I will quickly do off camera, and then we'll start checking the rows. Okay, I did find one. It's over here, or is it over here? That's right here. Corner cell. Went and checked it. Check it from the other side. Check the cell alone. 325.7. Each group of cells is 333, 330, 334, 334. So it's decent. It's not Nothing is like way off. So I think what I'm going to do with this one here, I can't spot weld it, obviously. I'm just going to, thank God it's not on the bottom, it's on the top, so it can take a little bit more heat. I'm just going to put a little bit of solder on it. I got some flux, and then we'll heat it up. And then once the solder sticks, then we'll just basically heat this up and stick it to it and be done with it. I think the gasket is still there, so we're good. The reason it didn't stick to this one very well is I can see from looking at it with the magnifying glass. I had this one here, I had to grind the end down, and it's unlevel, so it didn't stick very well. The other ones are very good, so I'm not too worried about those. I think this one actually was stuck, but when I pulled the Tapcon tape off, because I can't test the cells from the connector itself because the connector wouldn't stay in, so I glued it in, so that's out of the question. But this pack is still pretty good. So I'm just going to quickly heat that up and be done with it, and then balance it. Yeah, you can see the grinding on there. Okay, let's make some room here. We need some flux. Yeah, I've done other soldering jobs on this, so I'm not too worried about damaging the cells. I use a little bit of common sense, that's all. Just enough heat to get it to stick, and that's it. I might have to pull out my bigger gun, though. I don't know if if this one's going to do it. Yeah, we're gonna need something hotter. There it goes. Boom. Something to push down on it. And there you go. Good enough. Good enough for these cells. It's not super hot either. There. We'll let that cool down, and then we'll throw it on the charger and charge it up. Let's quickly test the cells. Make sure there's nothing weird going on. Like a massive discharge. 329. Not dropping, so we're good. All right, let me just put the Tapcon tape back on and go from there. will say these cases have lasted quite a while, and these are pretty good. Quite happy with these cases. Haven't fallen apart. Do a good job of holding the, actually the foam is actually held well, considering all the banging and potholes we have here in Canada. Also modified my charger that charges this battery. Originally it was 3.6 per cell. I actually went into the charger and adjusted the pot and actually brought the cutoff down. This way it cuts off before 3.6. It's a little bit easier on the cells, you know what I mean? Don't really need them that charged up. Alright. Just make sure these are nice and tight. Tuck them in. Usually like to tuck them in somewhere that's not touching the battery. That'll do. Alright, slap that bugger on the charger. Yeah, this one still works pretty good. I've also had to oil that. Like I said, I use this stuff here. Use 3-in-1. You never have to mess with them again. If you use a normal oil or lube, they tend to dry out again, but not with that stuff. This one's been going strong ever since. Other than that, not much has been going on. I'll show you the bike. I'm doing the Christmas thing. I'm putting a light back on it, obviously. I found a new way to mount it. Originally I had clamped up on here, I didn't like it. And I found you could just clamp it there, so that kind of works out. Looks kind of stock. The regulator or the power supply that I showed you last time still works, but I think I'm going to find something smaller than that. I have a bunch of stuff here that I'm putting back on the bike, like a switch for the lights. Like I said, I can't use the battery monitor until I find a cable for it or modify it. So we'll see what we're going to do about that. I still got a little bit of this orange cable left. So I'm going to end up doing these, but it doesn't, it's not thick enough to go over the whole cable, so I'm going to just do one strand at a time. So these will be separate instead of one. It'll be alright. It'll look good. Oh, I also got something else. I'll take you with me. Whoa. Sorry about that. Just screwed up my tripod. That's already finished charging. That's good. Oh, here it is. I scored a high amp disconnect. I'll put that somewhere on the bike. That'll work out pretty good. This way I can leave it off when I plug everything in, and I can just give that a switch. I don't know if this lights up or not. It kind of looks like it does. I don't know. Might take it apart and have a look at the gets. See if it's any good. But we're going to throw that on there. That's about it, guys. Checked my booster pack. It's 100%. That's also getting older too. I mean, as the batteries get older, you got to keep an eye on them, because that's when you tend to have issues with cells groups not keeping up with the other ones. Anyway, nothing much has been going on. It's too cold. It's like -8 right now, so that gives me a chance to actually work on the bike. Pretty much doing everything, doing the brakes, doing the pedals. You remember when I replaced the pedals a couple of years back? They got to be done again. These ones are both seized up. I just noticed it the other day. They're really, really tight. My guess is they had to be pulled apart and cleaned and lubed again, but I'm not going to bother because I scored a set that are older. These ones here off of a bike, some of them tossed out. These are, oh, I can't even make out the name of it. I'll leave it in the description. But these are actually bearings versus sleeve. And these things are made to last. You can just squirt some oil in from there. I'm not too sure what they did with the toe tags here. Or the toe. Yeah, I could see me putting my foot in that and go to stop and I can't get my foot out. Like I've used toe pegs before, but this is, I don't know, this looks DIY to me. I could be wrong. Maybe they were sold at one time. I can't find any information on it. It's interesting. I can imagine this part here would be rubbing on your crank quite a bit, wear the paint right off your crank. But yeah, it's interesting. But I definitely want the pedals, so I grabbed the bike and had to soak them to get it off. But yeah, these are gonna go good. No more of these. I don't need these ones. These here are freaking ankle shredders, and used for mountain bikes. So, but yeah, they're seized. So I don't know, if you want to back pedal, you might be able to find when I did a review on these. They didn't last as long as they should have, but they're both like that. They don't turn at all. Take it easy, guys.